My fish fam, it's Nikachu Merfolk Master. Today we're playing Mono Blue Merfolk, but it is certainly significantly much more mid-rangey than ever before. All right, so if you ever looked at my state of Merfolk in 2026, this is where I sort of want to lean the deck into. It is going to be a lot more slow. For two reasons. If we can't beat the aggro decks, we have to interact with them. It's simple as that. You have to be like the early turns of the game, you have to be interacting with them on some level, or you're just going to get smashed. If you try to play any traditional type of game of like Mindspring Merfolk turn 1, Silver Gill Adept turn 2, you're dead. You're just completely dead. But maybe even though we don't have those early aggro starts, we can still beat combo with all our interaction, whether it be with force, like we still have access to force negation, subtlety, sink into stupor, consign to memory, millions of counters. We got counter spells for days, hopefully counter spells for days, except the actual counter spell days. But we have a lot of counter magic, and hopefully that this is still enough to beat a lot of the combo decks while interacting with the aggro decks. Now, why are we moving the deck in this direction? Well, the deck started off as the idea of using Consign to Memory. So I like Consign to Memory in the main deck. Sometimes it's great, sometimes it's okay, but it interacts enough that I enjoy its utility in the main deck. Now, one reason now I'd also say that Force of Negation and Subtlety they're good in the metagame right now, but the problem is we run out of cards super fast with our regular Merfolk deck that we just can't play them. And anyone playing with pitch spells and Flare of Denial, they're just getting crushed because you're just going to run out of resources before you're just going to run out of resources. That's as simple as that. You can't afford to lose so many cards in a format where everyone has so much card advantage. Like, pitching away 2 cards versus like a Solitude deck, you're just sort of playing right into their hands. They love the 3-for-1, so you need to be going up on cards, not down. But then I was thinking, okay, like, Consign Memory is being used in combination of Solitude and Quantum Riddler. Can we use this? Like, Quantum Riddler is a fantastic card, and it's not that big of a problem, not that big of a deal to play it ourselves. And I think actually, I'm not 100% sure, but I think evoking Subtlety and playing Consign to Memory on it to keep a 3/3 on the board, while also like interacting with my opponent's turn 1 or turn 2 play is also a big deal. I think that is pretty strong. Now, what about the card disadvantage? Well, Quantum Riddler doesn't care. In fact, Quantum Riddler says, please dump your hand. It's a 5-mana 4/6 flyer. When the creature enters, draw a card. And as long as you have 1 or fewer cards in your hand, if you would draw 1 or more cards, you draw that many cards plus 1 instead. So this card is begging you, please go down to 1 card. Uncle Quantum Riddler is going to save us in case we run too low on cards. And we also have Aunt Svelune here for 3 mana, the 3/4 Merfolk. She's indestructible as long as we control at least 2 other Merfolk, and when she attacks, you get to draw a card. Don't forget that, because a lot of my opponents did, other Merfolk you control have Ward 1. It's sort of relevant in a world with Prismatic Ending and March of Otherworldly Light. They have to spend a lot of mana to kill some 3-mana creatures or 4-mana creatures. You gotta be careful. So the deal is, this type of deck is going to encourage us to pitch down, just like the Jeskai Blink deck does, except we're doing it in just a more tempo sense, while still leveraging Consign to Memory. Okay, so if we're not going to be playing that many creatures early on in the game, what are we doing? We're going to be playing with Spell Snare, we're going to be playing with Stern Scolding, and Dismember. And because we're not playing with Aether Vial, finally, yes, people, we can play with Undercity Sewers. I know people are always like, Nikachu, why aren't you playing with Surveil Lands? It's free, isn't it? Well, no, not really. No, it's not free, actually. It's not free because you need to add some fetch lands in your deck, and also this thing always comes into play tapped, and that's very awkward on an Aether Vial mana base. But okay, we're not playing with Aether Vial in this deck because Aether Vial is, I'm not going to say it's useless, but I mean it's awkward. I would prefer to be much more reactive on the earlier turns of the game, or also have access to this Surveil Lands to guarantee that we curve out. Because having 2 lands in Undercity Sewers will help us dig for the third land or the 4th land to at least hardcast our spells, or dig for the interaction that we need to win the game. And because we are still a mono blue deck, we get to reap all the benefits of being a mono blue deck. We get to play with 4 Sink into Stupor, 2 Ottawara, and even have access to Cavernous Souls, where other decks might be still weak to counter spells. So we still have a good chunk of Merfolk between Harbinger of the Seas, Svelune of Sea and Sky, and also Champions of the Shoal. Now, why are these creatures important right now? Okay, so they all have something in common. They all have more than 3 toughness. That's important because, like, the default amount of damage a lot of these decks are doing is 3 because of Flage. Flage deals 3 damage. So if you have a 3/4 in play, you're not dying to Flage. It's just simple as that. We have some Flage protection. A lot of the best creatures in the metagame right now, it's 4 toughness or higher. Why do you think Quantum Riddler is so strong? It's like it dodges Flage, it dodges Fatal Push, it dodges, like, you'd need like 2 Galvanic Discharges to kill this thing. So that's what makes this card like pretty strong. So that's why I want to be a little bit higher on the toughness to make it way harder on my opponent in order to kill these creatures. We're not going to let them do it for free. So these are just the highest quality creatures we have anyway. Champions of the Shoal can interact with creatures on the battlefield and deal a very serious amount of damage. Svelune draws us a card every single turn, and Harbinger of the Seas is just wins the game on the spot, depending on the situation. If our opponent has not tapped their or not fetched properly, or we're not in a position to fetch out basics, Harbinger of the Seas will lock them out of the game instantaneously. Other interesting include is Umara Wizard. So Umara Wizard is a 5-mana 4/3 on the front. It's a Merfolk Wizard. When you cast an instant sorcery or wizard spell, this creature gains flying until end of turn. But it's also Umara Skyfalls on the back. So it's just a blue land that enters the battlefield tapped. The main reason I have Umara Wizard in the deck is actually just to exile it to Champions of the Shoal. But, if we have 5 mana and nothing else to do, this is a theoretical evasive creature. Now, we don't have Island Walk, obviously, but part of the reason the deck is built as it is try to keep the board a little bit clear and either tempo past them or just blast past them with Champions of the Shoal, or go to the skies. Quantum Riddler, Subtlety, and Umara Wizard can go to the sky. Like, I could just, I may not have a lot of instants and sorceries to play on my turn, but I could play a wizard. Like Harbinger of the Seas is a wizard. Play my Harbinger of the Seas, or maybe another Umara Wizard. Or I actually have a lot of instants. I can Sink into Stupor or something on the board and then get in there. Just got to get in there with that Umara Wizard. So this is the first time. Is this the first time I've played with Umara Wizard? Maybe. Well, I mean, on video. I've played with Umara Wizard quite a few times off camera, but I can't remember if I played it on camera. So Engineered Explosives is here specifically to hate on Boros Energy, Affinity. It's actually good versus Amulet, because if you play it on one, and then whether they play an Amulet or either they play an Amulet or they get an Amulet with Urza Saga, then you pop the damn thing after 1 trigger and don't let them get any more triggers for the rest of the turn. So Engineered Explosives, I'm not going to say it's good versus Amulet, but like it has some purpose. Or if they make a bunch of constructs with their Urza Sagas, you got like at least some way of dealing with them. A reasonable way of dealing with them. And also, because we are playing with 2 colors, you can realistically kill 2-drops, and it's not going to affect our deck because we don't have any 2-drops. So they play Psychic Frog, whatever, Engineer Explosives on 2, and then pop it and kill that damn frog, or Emperor of Bones, or whatever you need to kill off the battlefield. So I look at it as like a bit of a pseudo, it's like a weird removal spell. I'm not saying it has to be in the main deck, but like we're trying it, people. We're trying new things. We're in unknown territory here. Still need 4 Dismember to deal with Ragavan, still deal with the early board states of what's it called? Boros Energy, kill was it Pinnacle Emissary from Affinity. So Dismember still has its place in this deck, but you definitely will be siding a ton of them out if the matchup doesn't line up with it. What else to say about this thing? And also remember, because we are playing, we have black mana. In fact, you could get 2 Undercity Sewers pretty easily in this deck. You don't actually have to pay life with Dismember in this deck, because we already paid some life up front with our fetch land. Anything else to say about this list? I'm not sure about the counter. I want to say there should be some counter spells in the sideboard, like actual counter spell. I just don't know what to remove. I don't know what's good or bad. I might be overrating Disruptor Flute, for example. I might be very overrating Disruptor Flute. I might be very, very overrating Disruptor Flute in this type of deck. Because, you know, I think a lot of the situations where I play Disruptor Flute, I'm also playing Counterspell is just as good, if not better. And anyway, so we also have Mystical Dispute for Affinity, and I'll bring it in versus basically any combo deck, although it's a very clunky Counterspell. Force Negation for those combo decks. Damping Sphere, combo and Eldrazi. Engineered Explosives for Boast Energy and Affinity, or, you know, generically versus other stuff. And Unlicensed Source, I don't know if this is the best graveyard hate card. It's the vehicle where you exile up to 2 target cards from a single graveyard, and its power and toughness are each equal to the number of cards exiled with it. Crew 2. I don't know if this is the best one because it's a bit clunky for what I wanted to do, but I'm hoping it's good enough. I'm hoping it's good enough. I hope I explained this deck properly. The idea is to just pitch our way to victory. And still a lot of flexibility. Like, hey, I think this deck could play with Mind Stone or Talisman of Dominance, so that we can get to our 3-drops and 3-drops and hold up 1 mana interaction better, or just straight up get to subtlety mana. Also, maybe Sapphire Medallion. It's possible, and then you play Sapphire Medallion on turn 2, and then you can play like Sveilun, and still hold up the 1-drop on turn 3, or like basically set up. You could have a turn 4 Quantum Riddler quite comfortably. Anything is possible in this deck. Okay, with that, let's get into our Modern League. So we won the die roll. We're up against a Kihira deck, which actually is terrible. I think one of the trade-offs to playing this type of deck is we're going to be significantly worse to some decks that we used to be good against, which is Control, and this is definitely going to be a Control deck. That being said, I'm going to keep this hand. I don't really like it, though. It's got like some things going for it. We got Subtlety. I don't expect Harbinger of the Seas to be that good here, but we'll see what happens. We've got some well, for as long as Harbinger of the Seas is in play, Cavern of Souls will be useless. So there's a Kihira, which means they are all elementals. And they are also in the... I mean, they're sort of doing what we're doing. They're sort of doing... Pluto Delta, we don't need that. Put that in our graveyard. We don't need any more of that stuff. Stern Scolding. I think we're going to play... Let's play a Cavern of Souls on Elemental. Whoa, is that... No, maybe that's giving too much information. Okay, we'll just say Merfolk. We'll just say Merfolk. They can assume we're a Merfolk deck. Yeah, it's okay. The real question is, am I going to be playing a Harbinger of the Seas on turn 3? I think I probably shouldn't, because it's still too easy to get eaten up by a Solitude and probably stay to live to tell the tale. And this is actually this probably can go get something else. Okay, we're just going to go Island, and I'm just going to go pass. I really hope they don't jam Teferi. Because if they jam Teferi, I'm probably going to be forced to play Subtlety and Consign to Memory. Which is all very ugly stuff. Stuff I don't want to do. Okay, so none of these can go get a Plains, which is good for us. Champions of the Shoal. Don't care about that right now. Okay, we're going to go Merfolk. I am going to jam this... Are they going to kill this thing with, like, Galvanic Discharge? If they do, they do. It's okay. This is our best spot. Did we put these both on Merfolk? Oh, that was a mistake. I meant to put the other one on Elemental. So the point being here, if our opponent does go for a Solitude, I'm just going to Stern Scolding the damn thing. Oh, do they have no basics right now? Or they can't get any relevant basics? Oh, this is going to be great. Oh, whoa! Whoa! This could end up being awesome. Oh, they're untapping so that they can play Solitude on their turn and maybe hold up Counterspell? Well, actually, we still have Subtlety. Oh, they're getting Kihira. Okay, this is good. This is going to be good for us. Although the clock is... It's quite a bit of a clock to go. Okay, they pitched the Kihira. Okay, so we'll just Stern Scolding this Solitude, and hopefully that's good enough. Hopefully. Oh, you have another Solitude? It might be another Solitude. There's another Solitude. I probably have to go Subtlety, pitch Champions of the Shoal, and hold up the Consign, because this is just a game of keeping my Harbinger of the Seas alive for as long as possible. Drawing Svelune was fantastic. Especially since I don't think there's any relevant way our opponent can counterspell this. At least not in the main. Unless there's Mystical Dispute in the main, that would make me very angry. Oh, there might be Subtlety. No. Nothing. So look at that. Harbinger of the Seas still works. Now has Ward. Now with Ward. Lorien Reveal. Draw 3 cards. Unfortunately, I can't do anything about that. I don't have interaction for that, unfortunately. Okay, so Solitude. So here's another question. Pitch Subtlety or Champions of the Shoal? Because the deal is, if I play Consign, whose turn is it actually? It's their turn? Maybe. Okay, actually I can go Consign. It's their turn. So I can go Consign. There's no counter spell that will save them. And then I'll still have Subtlety for the future. That should be enough. Oh, the Ward! This is it gets them, because it doesn't feel like a Merfolk deck. Well, my opponent goes, oops, LOL, GG. We were in good shape anyway. Yeah, I forget about the Ward. Yeah, even I forget about the Ward. So they tapped out for that Lorien Revealed. They had to go for the Svelune, which, you know, we had Consign for it. I'll give my opponent a bit of a winky, smiley face. Don't forget about that. Like you know, you don't even feel like you're playing like you're playing a Merfolk deck anymore. Okay, we want Mystical Dispute. We want Force and Negation. I don't have enough experience to say if Damping Sphere will mean anything here. With Disruptor Flute is interesting in that, like, we could extra tax Solitude, but that seems a bit stupid. Okay, we're gonna get rid of Engineered Explosives. So what is this? This is more of a traditional blue-white deck, maybe trying to win with Narset. Dismember is probably not good. They can't have Felia, because that's a dog. Or hold on, does Kahira like dogs? Is Kahira a dog person? I'm just wondering. I'm gonna quickly look up on Scryfall. Kahira. Each creature card in your starting deck is a cat, elemental, nightmare, dinosaur, or beast card. That's funny. Cat is allowed, dog is not. Alright, Kahira is not a dog person. Kahira and well, I'm more of a cat person. I shouldn't say I'm not a dog person. My opponent says, first time playing Modern in like 2 years, totally forgot about Svelune's text. Love to see Merfolk still kicking. Well, yeah, I'm the only one trying to keep this thing alive. Okay, I have to get rid of 2 cards. Probably it's just 2 Dismember, right? I'm a little paranoid. Okay, Stern Scolding is good. I'm a little paranoid of Spell Snare, but I don't think there's anything outright useless here. Go Harbinger of the Seas. It's also possible our opponent just didn't even... No, they saw Harbinger of the Seas when I played it. I guess they just assumed it was gonna die. You assumed wrong. Or maybe they just didn't have any basic... They didn't have the fetch lands to get basic planes. Okay, we'll keep it like that, I guess. Hand looks good. Not gonna complain. Looks like it's got a lot of good stuff here. See, this is how you outmuscle people. Well, I hope this is how you outmuscle people in Modern. Free spells, just free everything. Everything has to be free. People like free stuff. That's value. They surveilled something on top. They like the card. They're going to put a land play tapped. We will also surveil. The power of surveilling now in our hands. Another fetch land. I don't think I mind getting another fetch land and we put into play, and that way we'll eventually have Svelun backed up by Mystical Dispute if they want to play their own Quantum Riddler. And even if we don't need the lands, Sink into Stupor can be pitched to Subtlety or Force Negation. I think I'm going to keep that on top. So we'll get another Undercity Sewers and pass. Like, this is like a pretty neat moment to have like Counterspell available if I really wanted to. You know what I mean? Now, on the other hand, if they go, say, Teferi here, we'll Mystical Dispute it, and then just slam Svelun next turn. Oh, they learned their lesson. And by learn a lesson, I mean, well, they had that in their hand. That's okay. Mara Wizard, we don't really need you. We can put you in the graveyard. I think I can just throw out... No, do you know what? We're going to wait a turn so I can play Consign to Memory. Okay, we'll play a Merfolk here. That's fine. Just pass. I have Consign to Memory, so we have some reasonable chance to counter a Solitude with our Svelun. Are we just going turn back? Are we just turning? Are we just countering back and forth here? So this is an interesting spot where, what am I going to do here? I have a lot of options. We could shock, sink, pass, wait for our opponent to make... I mean, I could just throw a Subtlety out there, I guess. No, I don't want to do that. Now's not a bad time to go for Svelun. And then if they play anything, we have like an enormous amount of interaction for it. And then in the future, we can play Quantum Riddler and draw a bunch of cards. Okay, so we'll go for it. Say hello to my little friend. Alternatively, you could just pass the turn one more time. Just one more time. I guess this might still lose to what, that white removal spell for X? Oh, Consult the Stars. Kicker, look at the top X cards of your library, where X is the number of lands you control. Put one of those cards into your hand, and if the spell was kicked, put two of those cards into your hand. The top X cards where X is... Oh, it is kicked. Look at the top X cards. Put one of those cards into your hand. If the spell is quick, put two. I don't really want you to gain cards here, so we'll Mystical Dispute you. Rather you don't gain cards. In my opinion. Oh, they put Kahir in hand. Oh, because they're going to pitch it. Hopefully this is not Mystical Dispute. But even if it is, I think it's okay. Okay, so we... Oh, but I can counter that. Yeah, we can... how are we going to do this? I'm going to lose my Riddler? I can go to almost no cards. I can go down to almost nothing. But then we're going to draw a bunch of stuff. But then they could all get wiped away instantaneously. No, but I guess that's just the better way of playing this. We're just going to have to believe in the heart of the cards, and hopefully we draw some good stuff off the top of our deck. It's too bad. I could have consigned this Subtlety or consigned the Solitude if I let that Consult the Stars exist. What do they do? Oh, they put the Solitude on the bottom. That's interesting. I got a Mystical Dispute. So it's almost worth it for me just to play the Quantum Riddler right now. So I draw two cards off of this. I think there's 0 chance I play any Merfolk here. I shouldn't say there's no chance. There's like no double blue cards I could play. Okay, we'll play this with Warp. I have 1 card in hand, so we'll draw 2. I got a land. What's interesting here, I could dismember the Quantum Riddler and draw another 2 cards. As stupid as that sounds. Because like if I just have to get rid of this dismember in my hand. I remember that was a line. Why am I down so much life? I'm at 15. What did I do? I fetched 2 fetch lands. Did I get hit for 3 somehow? What happened? I don't know why I'm down so much life. So anyway, this thing, the Soporific Springs. So I can Quantum Riddler is still in play. But then I'll have 1 less mana for Mystical Dispute if I have to hard cast and counter a Solitude. No, I do know we should keep the Dismember for Solitude, actually. We should do that. Okay, I got another fetch land. So we can cast a Quantum Riddler next turn. So long, Quantum Riddler. Bye-bye. Yeah, so if they play Solitude, get rid of Svelune, play Ephemerate, we can Dismember. With like Quantum Riddler back up next turn. In some sense. Go Svelune. Go. We got Uncle Riddler and Aunt Svelune in the house, everybody. This is like a merfolk from space. It's the space merfolk. Okay, so they are going this route. We can't. Oh, they're getting rid of a Rat the Skies. Interesting. How is Rat the Skies worded? Get X, then you may destroy each artifact, creature, enchantment with mana value less than or equal to the X paid. That actually makes it so hard to kill a Quantum Riddler. Okay, it's dead. And you're dead too. We're all dead around here. Some cards would say they're not dead after all. Okay, yeah, the key here is gone now. Day's Undoing. No, thank you. Absolutely not. I don't think I benefit from this. Let's counter that. Oh boy. Okay, so that it does not matter. So let's fetch a... So we're just going to go back to square one. Is that how this card works? Each player shuffles their hand and graveyard into their library and draws 7 cards. If it's your turn, you end the turn. Okay. I think... I don't know who this benefits. We do have something in exile, though, so maybe that helps. Although the Quantum Riddler is going to be a hell lot more weaker. Okay, so it's my turn now. I didn't draw many lands. Did I gain life? Why am I at 17 now? Oh, the... I don't understand my life total changes. Yeah, the what's it called? The Solitude gained me some life. So we have Champions of the Shoal. I don't really have anything. I have to play the Sink. Pay 3 life? Absolutely. Then I'm going to play this guy. Fortunately, I wouldn't say I have infinite interaction, but I have interaction. Harbinger of the Seas. Not particularly useful. What am I getting rid of? Spell Snare? Maybe Spell Snare? I don't know what Dismember is used for, though. I assume a Solitude at some point, but I just don't know if there's a single thing for me to Spell Spare in that deck, except for a Counterspell, and I don't even know if they still have them in the deck. I don't mind having Champion, because I can play Champion and get rid of Harbinger of the Seas. Or maybe I'll just get rid of Harbinger of the Seas for now, until we have more information. And if I just draw another Merfolk, I'll play Champion of the Seas. Sorry, Champions of the Shoal, and play the Harbinger. Or maybe I should have just kept Harbinger and just played it next turn. Like, that's not too bad. That just makes our opponent's hand just, like, infinitely more awkward. Yeah, okay, I regret. I think now is, like, a pretty decent time to just put the hammer on our opponent, who apparently only has, like, 1 planes in their deck. Okay, let's start by attacking. Yeah, I hard regret playing that Harbinger this season. I could just throw that thing down right now and we would have so much going on for us right now. Game might be like borderline over. Look at all this counter magic! Oh, you know what? I probably could have dumped the Dismember too because it wasn't a blue card to pitch. So how many cards? I can play 1, 2, 3 from my hand. And then, oh, I can realistically actually play everything from my hand. It's not a big deal. Wow, they didn't do anything at end of turn. I would say it's a sign of weakness. Oh, they want a shock, which I guess it's free for them. Gonna fetch our island out of our deck. We got a Mar Wizard. Well, let's start by attacking. And this can deal. Okay, I think I'm just gonna go to discard and we're gonna dump the Dismember. Oops, no. Go to discard, please. If they want to make a move, then they got to make a move right now. Okay, so we can. I think the best card to deal with this is Stern Scolding. Is it the only way we can deal with this? Oh, maybe I have to keep the Dismember then. They got a blue for something. Now, fortunately, if they try to Solitude on their turn, we can Mystical Dispute. And it will work. They have to have Mystical Dispute up. Just force this. You gotta play for free, people. Free is the way of this world. Okay, the Spell Snare did come in handy. Like, I think that's the only 2-drop in their deck, though. They have this Dispute that's just rotting in their hand, I know it. Fortunately, we cannot get our hand low enough for this Quantum Riddler to do some serious work. Pay 3, still Dispute, and have this. Yeah, this will work out pretty well. Okay, we'll put them to 1, then play Harbinger this season. I think that should be lights out. Should be lights out. Yeah, it's really hard to get rid of that Riddler. Not so easy to Prismatic Ending that thing either. Subtlety. Pitching card. I think I should just hold up all the counter magic. I'll just let the Subtlety resolve. And if they consign this, I will, or blanket, I will just Dismember the crap out of it. We can put this on the bottom. I'm fine with that. I just have to prevent another Days Undoing or something. Okay, that thing just got binned. That's fine too. It seems very clear to me that they have Mystical Dispute, so we need like 3 mana up just to pay for the Mystical Dispute. It's like highly being telegraphed here. Supreme Verdict! Can I put you in exile somehow? Okay, well now I want my Svealoon back. Okay, I can't counter that. Okay, now we need a random Merfolk. Or we needed one of those Sink It to Stupors back in our hand. Opponent out. No! It's too late. It's too late there, Otawara. Alright. It's still not too bad. I mean, I could put a champion in play, and hopefully this is good enough. Target player can't cast spells this turn if it was kicked. The creatures can't attack. Sure, that's fine. I don't even have anything I want to play. So I guess this might be, this is the, what's it called? What is this? Oh no! And I can't do anything about this. So they get to look through a bunch of cards. They get 2 cards. That was sick. That was pretty sick. So I guess maybe the 1 mana up was Orm's Chant. Oh no, they had to have just drawn that, in my opinion. Narset is not going to resolve. That's very surprising that they played an Otawara there. These Dismembers, do I have better things to get from my sideboard than these Dismembers? Maybe, well, I don't know about Damping Sphere. Maybe Unlicensed Hearse. What do I have to do? Because now these Mystical Disputes, they're in bad shape. They're in very bad shape. This Champions of the Show is also in bad shape. Okay, Harbinger of the Seas, I think, is much more valuable than I thought it was going to be because of Supreme Verdict. Counter this. And, yep, pass. Do we draw all our Dismembers? I think we've drawn all the Dismembers. Now I know why they played the Otawara. We will play Cavern of Souls on Elemental, I guess. Oh, maybe I should have kept it in my hand, because I might even want to put it on Sphinx. Okay, I'll put it on Sphinx instead, if we draw another Riddler. The Riddler. They have Solitude? No, another Consult the Stars. I can't do anything about that one, though. Damn. We've run out of counter magic. Okay, for some reason, I totally blanked on Supreme Verdict. I mean, I don't know how that changes with our Soporific Springs earlier, but it's nice to have something in the hole. Okay, Orm's Chant will resolve. I guess they can go Days Undoing. Sure. I can bounce that. Opponent can't draw more than 1 card each turn. Well, I'll tell you what I can do. I can bounce your Teferi first. Something I can do. And then I can Mystical Dispute your Narset. You didn't even draw a card off that thing. Oh, shoot. It's still the Orm's Chant. Damn. I can't do anything about that card. Look at the top 4 cards. Yeah, you got it. Well, at least, okay, I got good value out of the Narset. Sorry, the Teferi. Oh no, Teferi, did it tick up? No, it didn't tick up. It didn't do anything. Okay, they got Isochron Scepter. Oh, I can bring in Disruptor Flute for the Planeswalkers. I could do that. Yeah, Disruptor Flute is great here. Now all the Champions of the Shoal people, the haters out there, big time hating on my Champions of the Shoal right now. I can feel you. I can feel you judging me. Yeah, we'll take out Dismember. We'll bring in Disruptor Flute. Although, to be honest, the Narset is mostly there just to play Days Undoing. I will play... I'll play Mystical Dispute so that... Tap out 3 mana so you don't play Days Undoing on me so easily. Okay, you got it. And we're dead. Damn! 1 life is not 0. 1 life is certainly not 0. And if our opponent even has, well, dismembers. Actually, I don't see a thing. This is not a because this is like the hardcore control deck. Because we didn't see that much in game one. Because this is the hardcore control deck. I don't think they're playing with any blinking. They're just playing with like they're just pitching Solitude because they're pitching Solitude. Oh, now I get my Svalent. Well, now it's stone cold useless. So what do I want to do here? I think I still want to play my Svalent anyhow. Prismatic for 3, sure. Yeah, can't counter that with Spell Snare. So Spell Snare also can hit the not Orm's Chant, but the Spell Snare can hit Isochron Scepter. Oh, you know what? I didn't think about it. Maybe I should have played Champions of the Shoal first, so that when Champions dies, then you go get then you get your Svalun back. See, we're learning things. We're learning things, chat. This is the first run of this deck. But I think it demonstrated its power. I mean, I got 2 donuts in my hand, which is the real thing that's killing me here. Okay, nothing. I have to cast this by just casting this, unfortunately. You can do nothing to nothing. This is going to get bounced. Can't do anything about that. Is that going to put Orm's Chant on the top? Okay, so then they're just going to win with anything. I'm like 90. Okay, so I'll remove the Dismembers because I'm 99% certain that if this is not a blink deck, I don't think this is a blink deck. I will bring in Disruptor Flutes. In fact, we could bring in all 3. We can bring all 3. It interacts with everything. It interacts with Teferi. It interacts with It's not the best versus Narset because they go Narset Days Undoing. Narset's static ability doesn't care. But I'm just saying, like, in response to Teferi, play Disruptor Flute. Well, okay. Neither of those things are actually that great. Maybe I should just have 2. Because at the very least, the Teferi in play is still going to, prevent me from casting anything at instant speed. But it's still better than nothing. Or, like, it's even good. Maybe it's good where I Subtlety Solitude. They put it on top, then I name Solitude to prevent the Solitude from coming back. With that, let's... Engineered Explosives do anything? Not really. Yeah, we'll submit this. One lander. And again, this is probably still the worst card in our deck. I don't feel like taking chances like this. Let's mulligan. We can keep this. And because we mulligan, I can get rid of the damn Disruptor Flute. Keep. Done. Play Undercity Sewers. We're looking for lands. That is not a land. Control has always been a very sensitive matchup. Like, you can't screw up against it. And we screwed up like a million times versus it in the first game. Okay, we'll play another land and pass. Sorry, in the second game. I feel like that was very winnable. Is all I'm saying. It was very winnable. We have another Svalun, and we're just gonna have to pass. And to be honest, I wouldn't even be very comfortable until I get like 4 lands in play. Like, I guess I'll jam a Sveloon just cuz, but it's not great. It's definitely not going to be great. They could like just they could mystical dispute the damn thing. We do get a land. Probably I'm best to just wait this out. If they want to do anything, then I don't want to do anything. We'll just pass the turn a little bit because it would be infinitely more convenient if we can get a 4th land in play to counter a Solitude with a Consign to Memory, even though it might not work out that great. Okay. Oh, that was the best draw possible. Okay, Merfolk. Hands down, that was a good one. So we don't have to worry about Mystical Dispute. I mean, the only thing we would have to worry about here is, I mean, there are things we can worry about. So they could go Solitude, we Consign, they Mystical Dispute the Consign, and then they follow it up with like Teferi with Mystical Dispute. Oh, then none of that happens, so we're in the driver's seat. Or maybe not necessarily. I mean, they could still follow us up with like Teferi Mystical Dispute. That would suck. Because we can only counter once. We don't have a second counter spell. And then having two Sveloons in hand is like worthless. Just stone cold worthless. Gonna hard cast a Solitude. I'm all for that. Oh, you are gonna play a Narset. Okay, well, I'm going to force it. Okay, just gets countered. This is going to be like Orm's Chant kicked. No. Okay, we're keeping this in our hand. You never know when you need that damn thing. Let's just accumulate some cards. We're in card draw accumulation territory. I can play 2 spells a turn right now, and I'm going to leverage it as much as possible. Oh, they do have 2 planes in the deck. So we can get Verdict at any... Well, we still have an answer to Verdict, but still. Subtlety is fine. Just stern it. Gotta sink. I don't want to play these. They are strong cards, but I might have to play it and back it up with Mystical Dispute. Also, I have the option to play a Subtlety at end of turn. Or just, I actually have the option to just play Subtlety, period, in the future. They're going to Island Cycle, so they're building up some resources. Orm's Chant. Or are they ready to Narset or something? Maybe my deck is very weak to this this chant of theirs. Instant. Target player can't cast spells this turn, and they can go for the Narset wipe board thing. And I can't play spells. I'm just thinking if they... Are they doing this to resolve a Supreme Verdict, or are they doing this just to go for the combo? I got rid of one Narset. If I go Mystical Dispute, I counter it. Like, oh, sorry, I don't counter it, but then they can't really play anything relevant this turn. Okay, I'm actually going to do that. And if we just trade, I think I'm okay with that. Like, if they go Narset into Wheel, then I could go Subtlety, pitch Sfealoon, consign my Subtlety. Okay, so this is going to get paid. Okay, that's fine. So what's the worst thing that could happen here? Is it just Teferi? I'm just trying to think, like, what's the worst thing that could happen to me here? If they play Teferi to bounce Sfealoon, I'd like to kill it instantaneously. I'm gonna make a, like, just super greedy play. I'm just gonna make a super greedy play here. Okay, and I'm going to consign. This is like super greedy, but I don't like if they go Teferi bounce, I'm just like in such bad shape, in my opinion. I'd rather have like a lone sink into Stupor and then draw a random card with Sfealoon. Okay, so what do you want to do this turn? Probably Teferi, but then I get to kill the Teferi. Oh, you just want to exile that. Is that all you wanted to do? Wow, what a waste. I like completely wasted all my resources. Or they had what I thought they had, and that was just a plan B. They did everything they could to kill that damn thing. And it worked, I suppose. Okay, this can... Should I let it resolve? Okay, I'm gonna let it resolve. I'm actually hoping they Daze Undoing now. They're shocking. Okay, I'm hoping they Daze Undoing. Oh no, they can Mystical Dispute me. Oh, they have Counterspell up. Oh, that's what they have. Why don't they, like, dig first? Okay. Nobody's allowed to have anything. That was, well, I'm not going to say that was good. But, you know, 2 Harbinger of the Seas at the end of the day is better than nothing. Okay, let's attack Meals. Attacking this Narset seems to be useless. Yeah, I think there needs to be Counterspell. Like I said in the deck, this deck probably needs Counterspell. It probably needs it more than that, what's it called? It needs it much more than Disruptor Flute. Although I want Disruptor Flute mostly for the energy matchup. So maybe I could shave some, or shave some Mystical Disputes for Counterspell. Okay, I'm just going to concede. I think our time to win this match was in game 2, and I foiled it up. All right, thanks for the games. And I just learned a little bit more about the nuances of the deck. But as you can see, I think we had a lot of game, and we had a lot of interaction even in game 2. But it was like the sort of the wrong interaction to interact with Planeswalkers, or at least Planeswalkers of this caliber. This was round 1. Let's move on to round 2. We won the die roll, and we have a perfectly keepable hand, so I shall keep. We'll keep it. I don't have anything particularly to do with this hand, so I'm just going to start off with an ooh. Do I have any? I have like almost no 2-drops. Okay, I guess we can start off in an island, then pass. Then on turn 2, play Umara Wizard as a land, because I don't think I have anything reasonable to do with for 2 mana on my next turn. The hell is this? It's a mountain. This is the stupidest mountain of all time. Okay, there's a Dragon Rage Channeler. We're up against an aggro deck. Let's see how good these chunky creatures do versus these aggro decks. And I definitely gonna have to keep this consign for the Riddler. So we'll play. We have a turn 3 Riddler on the way. At the very least, it's going to probably trade with this Dragon Rage Chandler. Or I wait a turn. No, I probably just block. We have a bunch of chunky cards, which is good because we have to deal with a lot of chunky stuff. I can't consign any of these things because I need I need it for later. Oh, Champion of the Shoal. Beautiful. Sorry, champions. It's more than one champion. This is exactly the type of deck that I want this type of card for. They can't... I don't think they can beat it. I mean, if they have enough removal spells, I guess it will work. I guess. No! Okay, that's interesting. Okay, so now what are they going to do? What are we going to do? How did they play this? Oh, it's not Mountain, it's Mount Doom. Okay, that's fine. I thought it said Mountain. You know, I'm fine with these full art cards being full. Like, you know, I look at these things like they're full art cards, but at the very least, the name of the card should actually be clear. Okay, look how threatening that card was. Damn. We had our opponent right where we wanted them. Didn't pan out that way, though. Okay, they have to attack. Second champion. What to do? What saves the most life? I guess we just play the... Well, I don't know if this saves the most life, but we'll just play Sveilun. Hopefully they don't blast us in the face for infinite damage. An alternative line we could have taken is put the Sink into Stupor into play tapped, and then consign to memory perhaps a Dragon Rage Chandler trigger. Oh, you're dismembering my Sveilun. That is... Actually, that's fine. So this deck is playing like a Delver deck. You're going to play like a Tasigur or something from the graveyard? Filling your graveyard out. Well, that doesn't look good. Well, the second Dragon Ridge Chandler. But they're at like 7. Well, that's not good either, because I have to deal with the Death Shadow instead. Do they have... What's it called? Ugh, these are so painful. Okay, we'll play this. At least we can put it in play untapped. That's the saving grace out of all this. Okay, I'll put a champion in play. We'll disable the Death Shadow. That's big and chunky. We'll get attacked in the air by the Dragon Rage Chandlers down to 5. And then I guess I have to bounce one of them. And hope our opponent does not find a burn spell. They put a Dismember in the graveyard. That could have saved them a turn. Oh, they found the burn spell. Okay, we're dead. All right. Foiled by Dismember, basically. Actually, well, Dismember is interesting because that will interact with our Quantum Riddler. Okay, we want Engineered Explosives, definitely. Maybe Force of Negation. Not really Disruptor Flute. I don't know if they use the graveyard. Oh, they do use the graveyard. They use it for Delirium. Okay, is there anything bad? Consign to Memory is going to be fine. Spell Snare. They probably have that artifact that what's it called? That artifact that makes tokens and gives them haste. Harbinger Seas is okay. I think everything is okay. I don't want to throw away too much. So I'm just going to bring in one. I'll get rid of one Stern. Maybe we get rid of one Spell Snare because we have all the Force Negations already. Yeah, that's fine. We'll keep that. Like, I don't. Stern Scolding is awkward. Like, on turn 1, it can hit a Dragon Rage Chandler. Later in the game, it doesn't hit anything. But, you know, we'll be on the play, not on the draw. See how this works out. Oh, you know what I should do? Okay, I'm going to get rid of one. I'm going to put all the Force Negations in the deck. I want all of them. That's right. I want all of them. Besides, like, I can deal with those stupid things. Okay, let's get the Spell Snare. Let's get rid of Stern Scolding. Because I have Dismembers for those dinky little creatures. Although they could have a lot of dinky little creatures. Who knows? They might have a lot of dinky little creatures. We have a hand. So that's all I'm going to say. We have a hand. In fact, it's a hand that we don't have to pay 4 life with, Dismember. We can go Undercity Sewers. Next turn, put a land into play untapped. And then zap something for 2 damage. And to a large extent, I want to know how well this deck is going to perform in these matchups. In these matchups where they are super outrageously aggro, because I don't really like my chances with the regular Merfolk deck. I like my chances with this deck. In fact, I think I really liked my chances if we were able to resolve resolve that Quantum Riddler. Okay, we'll start off with Undercity Sewers. I think I'm going to put this on the bottom. Or, sorry, in our graveyard. Doesn't go to the bottom. Because we are digging, I think, for another Merfolk for Champions of the Shoal. At the very least. Another Thoughtseize. They'll probably pluck our Dismember away. Is Thoughtseize good again? Thoughtseize is taking quite a back seat. Thoughtseize is not very well positioned anymore because, like, spending turn 1 not influencing the board is strong. Look how good Champions was. They stole it immediately. They didn't even blink. Oh, good. Spell Snare. They don't know about this card. I will play an island and pass. Although I have a feeling they don't have many 2-drops in their deck. I don't know what's in their deck, but I want to say if they're playing multiple spells a turn, that they have that Corey Steel Cutter is what I was thinking of. Corey Steel Cutter. Death Shadow. You got a Death Shadow? You have 2 Death Shadows? Only 1 Death Shadow. Are you gonna like lightning bolt yourself? That looks like the play that they're going for. They're going to bolt themselves to keep the Death Shadow alive. And if they do that, I might want them to do that on their turn. I don't have a counterspell for this. They bolt themselves. They'll sit at 1 life. Okay. Just going to take our turn. Shoot. Now I really want our opponent to tap out. Damn it. It would have been great. Okay, Cavern of Souls. Yeah, we're going to go Cavern of Souls. Pass. Yeah, we'll go Cavern of Souls. Pass. And I think I'm going to get hit by the Death Shadow, and then we'll try to sink it at end of turn. And depending on what else they play, we might do something else. Sure. Well, there is one problem. We are assuming that there is a lightning bolt in hand, potentially for a Harbinger of the Seas. Okay, I need to draw land now for the subtlety to make any sense. It's going to be very hard for them to, like, tap out. That's interesting. Let's pass then, and maybe we can get them to play several spells at 1 mana next turn. Okay, there's 1 Death Shadow. You may have a Death Shadow. You're going to play 2 burn spells? Damn. 2 burn spells in hand? Or they know about my Dismember, so I guess they don't want to do anything. Force of Negation. I don't think this is a very good card here. Well, the Spell Snare doesn't seem to be a very good card either. It cannot protect my Harbinger of the Seas the way I want it to. Okay, I'll put this in the graveyard. Okay, we'll go EE on 1. How much burn do they have? Sort of playing like they got a lot of burn. So again, I'll be in a spot where I think I'm going to take 6, go to 8. Hopefully they don't have 9 lightning bolts in hand. They're holding up like double interaction every single turn, which maybe they should. So that the next time that they play a creature, we can subtlety it. Man, how much burn do they have? I mean, maybe they just have a handful of burn and I'm just dead. A second Harbinger of the Seas. I will do nothing with this for now. Yep, there's 1 burn spell, which is fine if they're throwing them at us. Unless they have 3, then it's not fine. Then I'm very unfine with that. Drang Rage Channeler. That thing may not resolve. Not the way they think it is. Okay, that's fine. So now their shield's down to Harbinger of the Seas, and hopefully that's the game. Oh, unless they have another Dismember. Oh, now we got that covered, though. Okay, that's probably the game, unless they top deck a mountain. Attack for 2. Once they go down to 3, then I can play Svelune. Yeah, that should be fine. Because now they can't pay for Dismember because they're at 3 life. Alright, we won game 2. Interaction! For the win. Now what? Now what? Is Unlicensed Hearse better than some things? I don't think Damping Sphere is going to be any good. Seems pretty poopy. Damn, this deck could use Counterspell. What are we removing for Counterspell, chat? Maybe, like, screw Mystical Dispute. Maybe that's just not that important. Counterspell is more important. Or I have to split it. Or I have to shave my sideboard cards. It's a very interesting hand, but it doesn't have enough lands to do anything, so I'm going to mulligan it. What are they doing? Took a long time. Okay, they mulliganed. So we will mulligan. This hand's somewhat this hand's not that great. Now what did they do? Okay, they kept. So maybe it's time we keep too. I guess we can keep and we can dump. This hand's not that spectacular because it doesn't interact with many things very early on in the game. And like we could get really run over by creatures. Okay, so I guess what we're going to do is we're going to dump maybe Force of Negation, and if they play anything, we just Subtlety, pitch Spell Snare. Or maybe, oh, okay, I'm gonna get rid of Spell Snare. We don't even know if they got a 2-drop in their entire deck. We don't even know that yet. Maybe I'm gonna go all in on this Svelune. So if they go turn 1 Dragon Rage Channeler, Subtlety, Pichumara. Let's do what this deck does. It's the whole point of this deck. What do they do with this thing? They put it on the top. They like that card. They think they need it. Okay, it's my turn. I got another Subtlety. Maybe we're going to do it again. Moonshadow. Creature enters with 6 -1/-1 counters on it. When one or more permanents are put into a graveyard from anywhere. Okay, hold on. Let's see. What do we get? That's the real question. Can I guarantee a land on top of my deck? Ooh, maybe even better. Ugh, that's so greedy though. If I don't draw a land, I'm screwed. It's such a good card. In theory, it could just snap win the game. So I keep that on top, and then I do nothing for the next few turns. Or, you know what I could also do is I could Subtlety pitch Svelune, go really all in on this Harbinger of the Seas. I still don't even know if our opponent could still have another thing to do this turn, which would be frustrating. And they could still have Dismember. It's a tough choice. It's a tough choice. I think I'm going to dump this. Because if I don't curve, I don't win. And I can't interact with this on the board right now, so let's just pitch more stuff. Go Svelune. What do you do with this one? Put it on the top. Oh, it didn't matter. They're shuffling it away. It's gone one way or another. Now this Dragon Rage Channeler is coming back. But so far they haven't played any spells. Alright, Dragon Rage Channeler. Well, we did get our land. So this Harbinger of the Seas would have been awesome. Now if there's a Dismember here, I will be sick to my stomach. Mishra's Bauble. Bauble doing bauble things. Fortunately, the graveyard is pretty empty. They put a Bloodstained Mire in the graveyard. Well, they don't have many cards in hand, which is a good thing. They just don't. Attack for 1. They wouldn't have done that back in the day when I had like Merfolk Trickster available. They wouldn't have done that back in the day. That looks good. That looks good. Okay, we need to empty our opponent. We have to get our opponent's hand. Like, well, we can still get raced by this stupid Dragon Rage Channeler. Okay, if there's like a bunch of removal, hopefully like Svelune's gonna eat all of it. Then we slam Harbinger of the Seas, and then we have to randomly find we need to randomly find an answer to this Dragon Rage Channeler. And Death Shadow if it enters the battlefield. Uh-oh. Okay, attack for 1. Hopefully that's the last thing it attacks for. Now, ooh, Uncle Riddler has arrived. Okay, that's useful. Okay, hopefully they can't do anything right now. So what am I going to get attacked with? A Death Shadow. And I can block the Moon Shadow and the Dragon Rage Channeler. Now, interestingly, they can throw away their Dragon Rage Channeler if they want to. How does this work? Will this fly now? So hold on, I lose no matter what? Should I just take 5 for a few turns? I think I should just take 5 for a few turns. So I block Dragon Rage Channeler. So it's better to block the Dragon Rage Channeler and make this a 2/2, I suppose. Because I can... there's a lot of things in my deck that can block that. Actually, yeah, I should also block this thing because they could draw... Well, there's not many... There's less Mishra's Baubles left in the deck, but still. That's fine. Okay, let's keep our opponent's life total high and dry. We got ourselves Champions of the Shoal, but Uncle Riddler's here first. Okay, Uncle Riddler, tell me all about your riddling. We did find the engineered explosives. Do I play? Yeah, do I play it now or later? Probably. If you dismember this, and yeah, I better do this now. Uncle Riddler told me about the tales of the engineered explosives and how it blasted all the shadows to the Shadow Realm, so where they would never come back and be a problem ever again. And we shall attack. Isn't that right, Uncle Riddler? I have nothing else to do at this turn. I shall pass. I don't have any Merfolk in my hand for Champions of the Shoal. And we won the match. This matchup is unbelievably frustrating, and because of our big chunky creatures and randomly Harbinger of the Tides. Remember what happened at the beginning of the game? We went subtlety into another subtlety to prevent the opponent from getting their game on. We believed in the heart of the cards that either Aunt Sfeylun or Uncle Riddler would save us, and they actually did. Sfeylun ate a Dismember to clear the way for our Harbinger of the Seas, and Uncle Riddler found us the engineered explosives, which was a great tale to be told. Okay, that was round 2. Let's move on to round 3. This is round 3. We won the die roll, and I like our hand. We're going to keep it. Awkwardly, no important turn 1 play, but because we have Spell Snare. Although, actually, if our opponent plays a turn 1 creature, I could just go engineered explosives. Okay, come on, Boros Energy. Show me Boros Energy. I want to beat the snot out of Boros Energy. I would love to do it. We're going to play our Undercity Sewers. We have a Force Negation. So if this is Boros Energy, or if it's, what's it called? Or if it's Blink, I think we want this card, because they have Teferi. Because we are up against a random Arid Mesa deck. I don't know what the hell it is. But, you know, having that protection, especially when we get a Sfeylun in play by turn 3 is going to be super important. Just in case we go, like, double Galvanic Discharge or something. Planes. What does that mean? What does that mean, opponent? What are you doing? Okay, well, surprise! I'm a Merfolk deck. Okay, so this could still be control. I have no idea. They're like Undercity Sewers into an island to Cavern Souls Merfolk. That probably was a big mind bender by turn 3, because they probably just thought it was like a Murktide deck up until this point. And I have no idea what you are. Ophelia, the dog. Okay, so what is going to happen to me? Bad things? Ugh, I don't have my Spell Snare up anymore. Okay, so probably horrible, horrible things are going to happen to me now. They could play Riddler and Blanket. You know, even though I knew we could be up against a Blink deck, I still tapped. I shouldn't have tapped out with this Sfeylun because of the risk of Thalia. Well, Thalia looks like it's just going to blink my Sfeylun. Or was it doing? Is it blinking anything? I don't get what's going on here. Oh, are you trying to taunt me into blocking so you can kill it with a Galvanic Discharge? That's fine with me. I'm going to Force Negate that. And I'll toss... I think I'm going to toss this Sfeylun. Although it's a little risky. It's a little risky. On the other hand, I don't want Ophelia in play. Oh god, do you have another one? Maybe the right play was to get rid of the Spell Snare. Seems like, oh, they have another one. Oh, okay. So that was all for nothing. The Thalia thing. They trap me. They trapped me big time, especially since I could like just kill that stupid dog now. Oh, they were gonna. Okay, I shouldn't say they were definitely gonna kill my Sveloon. I guess they could have played one Galvanic Discharge, we resolve, and then we get them big time with a Force Negation. Pass the turn now, I guess. I guess we can play an Engineered Explosives on one for Ragavan if they try to dash it. Although I have these in the main deck for specifically the aggro decks, maybe Engineered Explosives really should be Counterspell in the main. And then I have Engineered Explosives in the sideboard, but I would like to have more power versus... what's it called? I'd like to have more power versus... what's it called? The aggro decks. So now they're doing the thing that we want to do. It's sort of doing it better than us. Do I want to scoop? I feel like I'm very close to scooping here. Our hand wasn't even that bad versus this deck. We did get another Sveloon, if that means anything. So if they go like Solitude, we can consign it. And are we racing? Sort of. The race is not that bad. Although I guess if I attack, they play Solitude, I consign to memory the Solitude. Them gaining life by attacking back is going to make the difference. Uncle Riddler's here. Oh, looks like our Sveloon's coming to an end. A prismatic end, in fact. Or maybe not. Oh, just rat the skies for 2? Huh? Oh, you have a third energy over here. It's 4 mana. The spell snare is worthless. Okay. Engineer Explosives go bye-bye too. I have a subtlety. What can I do here? Well, it's not over, but it's just not convenient. This would have been a much more interesting game if I just didn't punt my my position. Interestingly enough, there's some decks with a lot of 2-drops in their hand. There's a lot of decks that don't have no 2-drops in their hand. Flage. How about... I want to say no to this card. How do I... Oh, no, I can say no by just casting this. That works. And then if it comes back, I can consign it. I don't know what's in our opponent's hand, but I'm really hoping it's nothing. Could just be lands. So we're losing the race, but at least we're in the race. As opposed to earlier, we weren't in anything. We got an Umara Wizard. Okay, attack for 3. You're going to ephemerate your Riddler. Okay, I've seen enough. And Flage is going to come back, and they're going to draw 2 cards. They're going to draw a bunch of stuff. Okay, disputes. I think we want Force. Definitely get rid of the engineer explosives. Dismember is fine. You can kill Ragavan Felia, and then if we're in a Riddler mirror, the Dismember will be a tiebreaker. It's almost like Tarmogoyfs bouncing off of each other. Spell Snare is dubious. Stern Scolding also... No, Stern Scolding is fine because it hits Solitude. I have to cut 2 more cards. Maybe Spell Snare is just the card that... Like, I don't even know what I can counter. Felia? I guess it's just Felia, and the rest of the cards are fine. People are showing a lot of respect for Svaelun. It just goes to show everybody. I know I walked into that thing with the Felia thing, but... You know what? In retrospect, I would do it anyway, but... If I played smarter, I would just pass the turn with 3 mana up. Because I had a 4th land in my hand at the time, so I could afford to be patient. If I didn't have the 4th land, then slamming Svaelun was the right thing, because I don't know if I can curve out further than that. Would I like to play first? Yes. This hand is awkward, but maybe it's okay. Maybe it's better than I'm giving it credit for. Maybe Harbinger of the Seas could do something, but it shouldn't. Opponent should play around this quite comfortably. Like it's their job. I will put the sink into play tapped. They have all the manas for a lot of removal, so I'm not going to play into any of it. Just pass the turn. Just do some passy turnsies for a little while. Unfortunately, I have basic planes. Not pleasant to see. Undercity Sewers. What do we got for me? Undercity Sewers. Force negation is... it's okay. It's okay. I think I'm just going to put it in the graveyard, though. If I have to defeat a Teferi, I hope Mystical Dispute is going to be good enough for that job. If I have to defeat a Teferi. Not really going to commit anything to the board if I don't have to. Let's see. Are we going to miss any land drops yet? Nope. You just want to flage and bolt me, huh? Or do you want to flage? There's another world. You want to flage and how do I put it? And you consign this thing. How do I feel about either of those things? So if you go consign, I can Mystical Dispute and then follow it up on my turn with like Harbinger of the Seas. Like, this is not a bad spot to just throw... Well, I don't know if throwing Subtlety here is even that good. Okay, I guess we're going to let it resolve. Then if a consign is used here, we'll pick it off. And if it's just like to deal 3 and go to the graveyard, that's okay too. Because it's better to Subtlety the back end of that thing anyhow. Another Subtlety. Do you know what? I'll keep that. It's going to be a Subtlety war soon. It's going to be a very subtle war. Did they see Harbinger of the Seas from us, game 1? I don't know. They can assume we have it. I couldn't play Harbinger of the Seas there and protect versus Galvanic Discharge, so I didn't. Oh, and this is game 2. We could have brought in, what's it called? I forgot about my unlicensed source. That's like the entire point of this damn thing, is to eat up Phlages. Okay, Quantum Riddler is on the way. It's been given haste! And they are playing around Mystical Dispute. Anyway, this is a good spot for our subtlety. If they play Mystical Dispute, we can redispute back. Cast with Warp. Cast with Warp? What? But they didn't pay the haste for this creature. Did they overtap by one by accident? Or are they trying to like overtap to make it look like, I don't know how to put it. They're trying to make it look like they don't have anything. Like, sorry, they're trying to make it look like I can Mystical Dispute, but I can't. You want to counter this? You want to kill this thing? That's fine. Okay, what are they doing? They put it on the bottom. So we don't have to deal with that card again. Okay, so I could, in theory, go for Harbinger of the Seas here. I think I should. I can interact with a few cards. I think I should go for it here. It's a decent spot. We know they have Phlage in the graveyard. I just have to. I'd be worried about a Strix Serenade. I'm not worried about that in particular. Counter this. Too bad that we didn't have the. Well, it is lame though, because they can like Prismatic Ending, and now I don't actually have a good answer. But we didn't lose anything either, or we didn't lose much, I should say. It'll be sort of crappy if they just play Teferi here. They have a lot of good follow-ups here. Quantum Riddler. They put the last one on the bottom. So if you consign this thing, Quantum Riddler, consign. I can sink on my turn. Or actually, I can attack for 2, and if you block, I can kill it. Yeah, I don't want to spend 2 cards on this. So we'll let it resolve. They'll draw a card. I'll take a long think and attack for 2. Oh, it's just going to die? Oh, no, sorry. They're waiting to consign it. They have to have consign here. Oh, they don't. Okay. So, then that's a huge sign of weakness. Okay, that's very, very, very good for us. That was a huge sign of weakness. Their hand is they're really desperate. Okay, unfortunately, our hand is not very aggressive. Okay, Felly the dog is here. This is exactly what is meant to be dismembered. If I had one more land, I might even be more... do you know what? I should have subtletied that. Yeah, I could have subtletied that. That would have been totally fine. There's a Quantum Riddler. Oh, yeah, there's the Quantum Riddler in the graveyard. Okay, so actually, we can subtlety this. That's fine. Because we have consign... We now have consign for a Solitude. That's the only thing I'm paranoid about. They put the Quantum Riddler on top. Okay, Quantum Riddler's on top, but we got gas. We got a lot of gas. And they have no good top deck right now. Oh, interesting. So... they can just use it as a cantrip. I didn't think about that. So yeah, they warp it. If I sink it back to their hand, they could just replay it. Okay. We'll let them draw a card. If they consign the thing, then I can sink it to stupor at end of turn. Okay, they just drew a land, I guess. And then when they bring it back the next turn, like, they have to pay full retail. They don't have a choice. Oh, they're going to pay with replicate to counter their warp thing. That's fine. And now we sink. If you have a dispute, I can pay. I think I should put this Cavern of Souls in play, just so I have the option to play Sync, play Consign to Memory, and pay for Mystical Dispute all at the same time, if it's necessary. Or Consign to Memory and back it up with the goods. So we're in a spot where if they play Riddler one more time, and we bounce it one more time, they'll go to 2 life, and then we don't have to bounce it anymore. We just need one of these random creatures to cross the finish line. I like that they keep tapping that white source. Keep tapping the white source. Well, they can't Prismatic Ending. Because you don't have any red. Yeah, I think they have Prismatic Ending as like, oh, this is not working. I don't have multiple reds. I don't have like a third color here. That's right, you have 1 color. Okay, so we know 1 card in their hand. You know, no matter what happens in this match, doesn't this feel like Magic again? Like we're playing Magic instead of getting completely wiped off the face of the earth? Oh, you had March of the Otherworldly Light instead. Well, hot damn. So we can bounce this back to hand, and we have to bounce this back to hand, but we only get 1 more good attack, and then that's it. We're done with our good attacks. In fact, we might even be done with our attacks. So we get 1 more attack with this card. We need to draw our own Riddler. Fortunately, this Quantum Riddler hasn't been doing all that much. It's just been drawing 1 card a turn instead of 2. I think they have Prismatic Ending, March. Ah, they have the Consign to Memory. Okay, well, now we need something good. Oh, no, we can't draw. We're not drawing anything good here. But now we needed our own Riddler. Or a Sfeilun or something. Or an Umara. Where's our Umara wizard? Pass the turn. Well, it's very unfortunate that they're at 7 life, because if they attack with the Riddler, they win the race versus our subtlety. I don't know if this was completely worth it. Well, no, I just drew the second consign, because I could have used one of these consigns on a Quantum Riddler. So what do they have left? Prismatic Ending, which also can't hit subtlety, fortunately. Oh no! Flage is on the way. Well, fortunately. Or unfortunately. I can counter both triggers, but it's not worth anything. Because I have to chump block. Okay. When it enters, sack it unless it escaped. Well, we're definitely countering that thing. Okay, getting attacked for everything. But still, I can consign. Yeah, that's right. Not the only one that can do this. Okay, so what do I want to draw now? I don't even know. Okay, I need to draw Quantum Riddler into Champions of the Shoal and a random Merfolk. That's what will get us out of this. Riddler? No, no Riddler. We needed this earlier. If we drew this earlier versus this March, I think we are... Well, I don't know if we win, but it's pretty close. Good games. Concede. Interesting. Very, very interesting. So, I still think the matchup was very close. We had a lot of controlling elements. And I think the biggest problem is this deck needs actual counterspell in it to help me, especially on turn 2 or like, you know, later on in the game, being able to chain multiple counterspells and really close out the game. All right, that was round 2. Let's move. Oh, sorry, that was round 3. Let's move on to round 4. This is round 4. We won the die roll. Our hand is spells and stuff. We're gonna keep things and stuff, things and spells. We don't have anything we're directly playing on turn 3, so maybe we're gonna hold the Omara in our hand to the point that we can actually cast it. But I think with Polluted Delta, we're strictly going to be looking for cards that we can cast. Interestingly, in this league, we're up against a lot of patient decks. 2 control decks. It's almost like the regular Merfolk deck would have been better in this league. But I still think we have a lot of game. And we definitely had a lot more game versus the control deck. We'll put the Sink into Stupor in our graveyard. So not the control deck, the shadow deck. Normally that thing would just wipe me off the face of the earth. I wasn't getting so wiped off the face of the earth this time around. One cracks Misty Rainforest. The only problem with this deck, as I'm seeing right now, is we look so much like Dimir Frog that people are playing around stuff as if it's Dimir Frog. You know, they're expecting the counterspell, you know what I mean? They're expecting these things. Repudiate. Counter target activated or triggered ability. Well, I guess I have to spell snare that. I don't want that to resolve. This is an awesome card. Was it replicate and repudiate? I think this is a pretty good card. Counter target activated, triggered ability, or create a token that's a copy of target creature you control. So I mean, if they can make this work, then great. And they have consigned to memory. Oh, I think this is just the Simic deck, right? Which is sad. I don't want to use my spell snare like that. I think I'm gonna keep that on top. We're gonna take that Harbinger of the Seas. And the reason, I mean, they've got a lot of they got a lot of blue cards in their deck. But, it'll shut off all the green cards, and that's the most important thing. But they do have a lot of blue cards. They can play through this by a good chunk. But, you know, we're shutting off Birthing Ritual. We're shutting off Icefang Quaddle. Anything with a green mana symbol in it. So what is this going to do? Blue. As blue is cast, draw 2 cards, then discard a card. I think I'm going to just let this resolve. It's because it's evoked. I think we're in the driver's seat right now. And I think they're trying to set up an Oculus, but we can like dismember the Oculus on their turn, or even try to fight over it with Subtlety. They put Ureni, the Song of the Undead. Okay, I don't know what the hell is going on here now. Flying, protection from white and from black. When Ureni enters, it deals X damage if you choose among any number of target creatures and or planeswalkers your opponents control, where X is the number of lands you control. What the hell? Okay, I don't know what we're up against anymore. I thought I did. I was wrong. I was dead wrong. In fact, this Harbinger of the Seas could die at any moment to a dismember. I sort of want to play this Sveilun, because it's just like the more higher impact card. So I guess I will. And like my opponent doesn't have Flare of Denial up. They don't have... They may have Subtlety. And if they play anything really backbreaking, we can play Subtlety right now. Alright, they don't want to show us their secrets. Maybe it's... I don't know what the hell this is. They have consigned memory. So I think they're... Honestly, I think they're just doing very similar things that we're doing. When it enters, it deals X damage. Well, you don't want to consign that. Like, I can only imagine they have Subtlety and Riddler in their deck, which is what the consign is for. Or I mean, they just want to have it versus Eldrazi. That's totally fine. Mystical Dispute is a mandatory... I don't know what's in this deck. I guess hers has to be good because they like to loot. Take out all the engineered explosives. I imagine Dismember has to be good. Stern Scolding and Spell Snare are probably good. I have no idea if Consigned Memory might be fine. It might only be fine though. Might not be great. Dismember might be actually so-so. I imagine Dismember is good versus Oculus, but like everything else has an ETB. So it might be dubious. I'll shave a few. And maybe I'll shave... Oh, no, I can't shave Consign because I need that for our Subtlety and Quantum Riddler plan. I guess what... Harbinger of the Seas should be trash. It probably should be bad. They just didn't play around Harbinger of the Seas because they didn't even think we could possibly have it in our main deck. Okay, we'll shave one. My opponent goes, "You are the Merfolk guy." That's right. I am the Merfolk guy. If we see more stuff out of their deck, maybe we have to bring in Dismember. But I don't know what's in their deck. I have no idea what the hell's going on here. Maybe Force and Negation is important. Maybe they're like a weird combo deck that I don't know about. Okay, we'll submit this. Maybe Spell Snare or Stern Scolding is better or worse. Maybe Stern Scolding is worthless. I have a hand of cards, so I'm going to keep it. And because they have Repudiate, I have to like fetch on my turn. Oh, there's one of our Undercity Sewers. I guess that's what I can play on turn 2. I don't know if this is good. I mean, we didn't see anything, so I don't know if that's good. I'm just going to dump it. If anyone knows what this deck is, I mean, good for you. I'm seeing it for the first time. Opponent says, "Saw a lot of your vids." Thanks. You're in one of them right now. Not to make them nervous. You're in one right now. They put Disciple of Frail Eyes. When the creature enters, you may sack another creature. If you do, gain X life and draw X cards, where X is that creature's power. Is this Neobrand or something? Creature enters, you may sacrifice another creature. Is this Neobrand? Is this Neobrand? Well, I have a decent hand for Neobrand, to be honest. Quantum Riddler. Probably I should throw that on the bottom. Just because it's like, it's pretty good with our hand, but the problem is it's not... if this is Neoform, or some version of Neoform, I need to be like super interactive. And like, I can win with just a Svelun and a Champions of the Shoal. So we need like more Force and Negations, more Consigned to Memories, which would be fine. So if this was Neobrand, could I play it any differently? Yeah, I could definitely bring in Disruptor Flute in the last Force and Negation. I actually might have kept even... I think I could keep the Harbinger of the Seas. I've beaten these Neobrand decks a million times for some reason with Harbinger of the Seas. Did they just not have a basic forest or something? The hell is this? Look at the top 4 cards of your library. You can put a land card from among them onto the battlefield tapped. If you don't, put a card from among them into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. I don't... Like, the problem is I don't even know if this is in Neobrand. Enters, you may sack another creature. Just feels like something you can tutor into play, sack something else to keep going. I don't know what a Neobrand... Like, the Neoform decks have mutated and changed quite a bit since last I remember. Well, did they brick? Look at the top 4 cards. Put a land card from among them. Well, you shouldn't have filled your deck with so many of these things, which also double the size of land. Screwed yourself over. I have a feeling. No, I get a stronger and stronger feeling that this is stone worthless. Okay, I'll put Ottawa in play, so just keep curving out. And also have May... Oh, I doubt I want a hard cast Force Negation. I got Mystical Dispute. It's best that I do something than nothing. I play Sveloon. We have a bit of a fight. No, probably the best thing to do is just keep passing the turn. Okay, I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. At their upkeep, I'm gonna fetch. Nothing changes. I'm still gonna fetch at their upkeep. Because I want them to tap out a little bit. If they've got that, what's it called, card. The thing card. The thing that the stifle. They got the stifle. Maybe this deck needs Brazen Borrower. Well, the Brazen bouncing stuff sucks. Okay, let's pass. Another Pluto Delta. Okay, I'll attempt to play a Sveloon. Or I could attempt to play a Champions of the Shoal, get rid of Umara Wizard. If it gets countered, then I can follow it up with Sveloon. Sure. It's just a big, stupid dummy. You want to counter this? Go for it. Get rid of an Umara. You 2-for-1 me. Alright, nothing happened. I get my Umara back if something happens to that champion. Alright, the 4-mana, 4-power creature clock is on. They seem to be like a combo deck. They're acting like they're a combo deck. But they're playing like everything in their hand is worthless. Okay, we'll play Sveloon now. Start to crank up the heat in this game. Oh, we have quite a bit of interaction now. We have Mystical Dispute, Consign, and Force Negation up. And Dismember if I randomly need it. Yeah, I can't bring Disruptor Flute in, because I don't even know what I'm supposed to Disruptor Flute. Alright, discard something. What is going on here? Okay, it is Neobrand. It is Neobrand. It was Neobrand the entire time. Yeah, I can see. My opponent's like, oof, drawing really bad. Okay, so we have to fetch an island before Sveloon's trigger resolves. Because if we draw an island, we have nothing to fetch. So that would be really bad. But they might have like a million pieces of interaction now. Do I have enough interaction? I hope. What can Consign hit? It can hit some like haste cards. Okay, Grizzlebrand is offline now, which is super important. Let's see. Flying, lifelink, pay 7 life. Needs to get haste from something though. Okay, here comes the Dino. Okay. Oh, you just want to put a blocker in play? Well, the blocker is of no match for my Champions of the Shoal. Replicate. Create a token that's a copy of target creature. Turns out the Dismember actually came in handy. I didn't even have to do anything. Didn't have to pay life either. That was free. This unlicensed hearse is worthless. Okay, we ended up winning. Opponent says good game. I would say was not really that good for them. Oh yeah, it just turned out just terrible for them. They were just looking for Neoform. Yeah, I had no idea. I don't know. Was that weird creature that I saw game one enough info? I don't remember what it was, and I was completely confused up to this point. I haven't run into Neobrand in an eternity. It's the first time in a long time. Look at that. We didn't even need our normal Merfolk cards. But again, another deck where Counterspell would have been great to have against. Okay, that was round 4. Let's move on to round 5. Here for round 5, I believe we lost the die roll, and our hand has no lands. We're going to mulligan. Our hand has lands and a decent chunk of stuff. I'm going to keep... Are you an aggro player, opponent? Everyone looks me up. Should I start looking up my opponents? Like, if my opponent regularly plays aggro decks, then this Engineered Explosives is going to be great. You know what? Let's turn the tides on our opponents. What has our opponent been playing recently? Jackalo 98 on MTG Goldfish. What do you like to do? What is you like playing Domain sometimes? Actually, that was last year. I have no idea what you play. Okay, we're going to keep this and then we'll just dump. Well, I could dump the Sphaloon. It's just that if we're up against multiple removal spells... Actually, do you know what? I'm still going to dump the Sphaloon. If the Engineered Explosives is a dud, it's a dud. But it has the potential to just at least be some sort of interaction on turn 1. Because I may not be doing... We're on the draw. If I was on the play, I'd dump the Engineered Explosives. Oh, no, not another one of these decks. What is this going to be? A creature? What is this? Spirebluff Canal? Oh, this is going to be a house! It's going to be a house! If we can make it till turn 2. Ho, 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 it's affinity. It's affinity. It's affinity. They all thought I was crazy for having Engineered Explosives in the main. They thought I was crazy. Well, who's crazy now? And here's the thing. Like, I can subtlety. If they try to play a, what's it called? A, Kappa Cannoneer. I can subtlety it, and then afterwards, they like put the Kappa Cannoneer back on top of their deck, and then I go EE and blow everything up. Oh yeah, this is all going to the graveyard. You went all in. Yeah, warp, it's gone. They're drawing some cards. Actually, funny enough. Oh, what do I do here? I think I'm going to play this. I'm going to play the island. If I do play a Kappa Cannoneer, what I can do is I can go subtlety, pitch Sphaloon, and then we consign our subtlety. Maybe that's not good enough. Maybe I'll just like subtlety, pitch the consign. And then we have Sphaloon. No! Okay, I have to consign that at some point. I guess I'm going to consign the third half of that eventually. So that they can't search their library for something. No, but I can't do that. Ugh, what am I going to do now? I'll be under a lot of pressure. Here comes the Kappa Cannoneer! Here comes the Kappa Cannoneer as prophesized! And I can't counter this thing. Not with consigned to memory because it's blue. So my option is... Okay, it is just gonna be what I originally was gonna do. Or hold on, cancel. I can go subtlety, pitch Sphaloon, consign my subtlety trigger. But this Urza Saga, if they have a land, this is gonna suck. If they don't have a land, it might not suck. This Urza Saga will just pop and then get some junk. Okay, I'm gonna have to believe in Sphaloon. Gonna believe in you, Sphaloon. You might not even curve out because I didn't play this Undercity Sewers turn 1. Fortunately, because of the blue mana symbol, you are a blue card. Okay, where is this going? Did go on top. Alright, that's good. That is good. I can only hope that this is going to wail on them like they've never been wailed on before. Damn, we won't have turn 3 Sphaloon available though. Ta-da! Da-da-da-da! But if they have a land, then Urza Saga will just curve out and hurt us pretty badly anyway. Yeah. I can't wait on this. They'll get priority next turn. EE, go poof. Yeah, sure, exile my graveyard. I don't use it anyway. Okay, if they have no land, we're golden, because then this thing is just gonna pop and get like some random artifact. They have no land! Can we get a land and curve out at least? You know what? Good enough. I'll take that. In fact, I'll put that on top, actually, so that we can play Subtlety. I'll play it on 0 immediately, and then if they get any 0 drop... goodbye, 0 drop. This deck just lives and dies on 0 mana cards. So I guess they're not going to get a 0 drop here. Do they have any 1 drops? Anything useful they can get for 1 mana? Look, everybody. Turn 2 Kappa Cannoneer. We are in the game. Not only that, we're thriving. Uh-oh. Pithing Needle. They're gonna name our engineered explosives. But it's gonna hit their engineered explosives. Not that theirs are any useful. Their engineered explosives suck. They have worse engineered explosives than us. Yeah, they are going to name engineered explosives. Okay, they did get a land. So what's next up their sleeve? Oh, they get to play this card again. Shoot. So... Claws of Gix. What does Kappa Cannoneer need? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, this is more than enough. Damn, I'm gonna get killed by this Pinnacle Emissary anyway. Huh. Well, despite everything... Okay, so I guess playing the Engineer Explosives was a huge punt. I totally forgot about the Pinnacle Emissary. Okay, we'll bolt ourselves, I suppose. And not be in good shape. So it's interesting, they didn't go all in. They could have been all in. They decided to hold some stuff back. They could have been like super all in and we would have completely wrecked them. Our opponent was like, you know, they had a little brains to play around some stuff. You know, it's a line I wasn't even thinking about. I could have bounced this thing with the Sink into Stupor at end of turn. Well, I mean, it's completely useless here. But point being, like, there was a opportunity to bounce the damn thing and then crack our engineered explosives. Yeah, so a lot of learning to do here. A lot of learning. That's okay. That's what we're learning. That's what we're doing today. We're learning about the deck. Learning about its new interactions with new decks. I assume they put that on top. Top of their library. Unfortunately, the Urza Saga isn't getting rid of it. This does not help me very much. Does not help me very much. So I can pop this. You play Kappa. I crack this. You lose most of the stuff. No, I think that's too clunky. I just gotta start playing stuff on the board and maybe draw some cards with Svelun. Also, if I play Svelun, Otawara costs 1 less. So it gives me the opportunity to draw a land. I can still play Otawara for 3 mana and then crack engineered explosives. Damn! The power of the affinity deck. We had 2 main deck engineered explosives. Worthless. Completely worthless. And so in a way we literally had everything. But good on our opponent for not spewing their entire hand. You never know. No, I guess I guess we could in theory have Toxic Deluge or something. Oh god. What is this? Affinity for artifacts, and it gets like enormous, right? It's a 9/4. Well, this is what we have a bunch of engineered explosives in our deck for. We have one more coming from the sideboard. This is also one of the main reasons why we have this is the main reason why there's so many mystical disputes, so you can interact with Pinnacle Emissary on turn 1. I can't block. Sveiloon of Sea and Sky for reasons we don't understand can only block on the ground. Ooh, I have a blocker in the form of Umara Wizard. So, well, this is not indestructible right now. I think we are going to scoop. I think we're going to scoop. It's a lot of stuff on the battlefield. A lot of stuff. Okay. We want definitely force. I don't know if about Disruptor Flute. We definitely want engineered explosives. Spell Snare hits. Depending on the build, it hits some stuff. Stern Scolding. It can hit Krang. Can't hit Pinnacle Emissary, though. Consign to Memory. I find that Consign to Memory is actually not that good in this matchup. Dismember is good because it can kill Pinnacle Emissary. Can kill Krang, too, actually, which is important. Harbinger of the Seas is very poor. Is it poor enough that I gotta side them all out, though? Does that even make sense? What's Disruptor Flute? As this enters... So this could be an answer to engineered explosives of their own if they try to pop it and blow up all their those munition things. That's possible. Okay, well, is there anything like really bad? So I need Consign for subtlety. I need Consign. Where are you, Riddler? I could really use you. I don't even know if Spell Snare is that good. Engineered. Actually, this cuts off red mana if they really need the red. There's not that much red in the deck. And it can cut off Urza Saga if we go the late game, which you sort of do. I better not be regretting this. Okay, I'll keep some Harbinger of the Seas in the deck, especially since I might want some with champions. I feel like I should have Disruptor Flute in here. It costs 3 more. Like, cause spells with the chosen name cost 3 more to cast. Like, maybe a good rules interaction I need to learn is if they try to play, if my opponent tries to play Kappa Cannoneer, can they just tap more artifacts? Because that's pretty easy. The problem with the Disruptor Flute right now, they would have been much better a long time ago versus Old Affinity, where there was a bunch of activated abilities. But nowadays, it's just a bunch of cast triggers. That's what it's mostly about now. That's what it's all about. I won the die roll. This hand is... It's okay. I would say it's poor. It's on the poor side for sure. But I do have a Dismember for a Pinnacle. It's better than most things. But the hand is definitely poor. But hopefully these Surveil lands will save me. They'll find me good stuff. They'll find me riches beyond my wildest dreams. I guess we're going to start with... Guess I'm going to save myself some life with the Sink into Stupor. So now we have a plan of playing Quantum Riddler on turn 2, I guess. Sorry, not turn 2, turn 3. Okay, I might want to consign this. So they don't have mana. The next turn... Yeah, I think I'm gonna now I really regret I should have actually put the Cavern of Souls into play. Because now I don't have Pinnacle Emissary. I can't nail Pinnacle Emissary if I want to. Oh no, I don't want to consign because I need that for Quantum Riddler. Okay, I'm just gonna let this resolve. Right, I shouldn't say I don't need it for Quantum Riddler. Whenever not... Okay, so when a non-token artifact enters, I'm screwed. Okay, so they have the weapons manufacturing hand. Which means all I have to do is counter engineered explosives. So I have to waste my consigned memory on this. Opal, sure. Oh, unless this is going to turn into a, what's it called? An evil monster. Is it going to be Kappa? Well, if it's Kappa, it will be okay. Or maybe it won't. This Urza Saga is getting out of control. Oh, I see. They don't want to play Kappa into Mystical Dispute. I mean, they either have Engineered Explosives or Mystical Dispute. Okay, no. They have Engineered Explosives, and we have to blow this thing on here. We don't have a choice. There's a lot of damage. It's a lot of damage. I mean, you could argue that I should have countered this thing. Because I don't know how to beat the Urza Saga now. Well, I can beat one Urza Saga. No, actually I have Champions of the Shoal. Champions of the Shoal can beat it too. Well, Champions of the Shoal can beat one. So I guess that's what we have to play for. Okay, Merfolk. And I guess we play Quantum Riddler, see if we can draw. Maybe we can even get a consign. We have a nice hand, but it's not lining up with our opponent's hand. I brought in the fourth dismember. Force negation, right? Yeah, I did. Oh, another good draw here would have been Harbinger of the Seas. That would have been perfect. Oh, we got consigned memory. Okay, so that is... it's awkward because I need to use it on the Urza Saga. So it doesn't. They don't make their own tokens. Yeah, they have the mana for it with Mox Opal. So I have to let Quantum Riddler go bye-bye. Hopefully you'll be back, though. Opponent's hand is empty, for the most part. Okay, yeah, you're going to warp away. And they can't use Urza Saga to find engineered explosives. That's not going to work. Alright, it's still a game. So it never gains the ability to make creatures. Alright, Svelun, let's go. Go, 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 go. We have another Svelun for a Champions of the Shoal. I don't know how good Hope Champions is going to be okay here. Yeah, you can tap for mana if you want. Just can't tap it to make creatures. So what do you get here in this spot? I guess they could get a random welding jar. Or Closet Gix is pretty good. No! So I was actually better off countering this one. I totally forgot about Closet Gix. Usually it doesn't get to this point. Usually I die to the engineered explosives. So I gotta shut this thing down. Does it get target anything? To any target? Well, Svelun, I think you're not long for this world. Oh, okay, so I really needed to bring in the Disruptor Flute. I don't know if that's going to make the deck in the future, but... Why are they playing a second weapons manufacturing? Is there anything I can do about a Claws of Gix in my deck? Ah, that would have been so good! Well, never ago. Pay one, sack a permanent... Okay, I need... Why is this on the stack? Oh, it's past priority. You want to consign my Svelun? Oh, you're so rude. That is so rude. That's something else, you know. Okay, let's deflect. I couldn't get to my next land drop. Let's deflect the fact that... let's deflect some of this Claws of Gix away from our Svelun here by putting another Merfolk on the battlefield. So if they... I mean, they have enough mana to, like, sack the munitions and double kill it, but let's say they don't. Or maybe they didn't do it last turn. Like, they could do it last turn, couldn't they? They just decided not to. Maybe it's because I had a bunch of mana up. And somehow I could interact with it. Oh, yeah, because it is a trigger, right? Yeah, it's a trigger, so I could have consigned a memory to it. But now I'm tapped out, so they can go for it. Yep. Svelun takes a lot of damage. Okay, that's fine. Good games. Good games. I think I learned a lot about this deck. So it was a 2-3. I liked this 2-3, though. I think it was a very, very interactive 2-3, and I think there is a lot of room for improvement, both on designing the deck, but also... Why does it lag so much when I'm done a league? Both from designing a deck and also from playing the deck. So this is the deck, yeah, display, card view. So definitely Counterspell should be in the deck somewhere. Maybe removing the engineered explosives to the side. And like Disruptor Flute is probably a card. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. And then like depending on how good or bad Counterspell does, or like I could shave a Disruptor Flute, I can shave a Mystical Dispute. I can shave maybe a Damping Sphere, put all the engineered explosives in the sideboard, add 3 Counterspell in the main. I don't know, shave something else from the main for the 4th Counterspell. Or maybe 3 Counterspells is just enough. But like this deck feels like it could use Counterspell by a lot. And I don't know what else. But I really liked, like, if you could see, like, we weren't getting completely blown out of the water. Like, we were able to beat... one of the aggro matchups, which is something we never do with a regular Merfolk deck. We did beat Neobrand in a really clunky way, so I don't know how legitimate that victory was. Maybe it was legitimate, maybe it wasn't. Unfortunately, we didn't see we saw a little bit of Quantum Riddler, not a lot of it, because very often we need to use our consign on something else, or we just didn't draw Quantum Riddler when we actually needed this damn thing. But I'm definitely going to sort of work on and iterate this. These are all our most powerful cards: Harbinger of the Seas, Svelun, and Champions of the Shoal. And this is going to definitely be a champion for us. All right, they're going to be a champion in our deck. I hope you liked the video, and you're definitely going to see a little bit more action out of this thing into the future. Take care. I'll see you next time.